Good afternoon, a very good afternoon to you. It is much of my pleasure hosting you today on the growth agenda. I don't know if there's anything else I like doing better than helping Nigerian entrepreneurs to take advantage of this concept of franchising. It has earned me the name Mr. Franchise. So it is a passion for me. It is like a calling. Why? Because over the years, we at MBDS, we have seen that there's a major challenge in the SME ecosystem right out there. There are a lot of entrepreneurs who are struggling to build their businesses who should not perhaps have actually gone into business building. Building a business in Nigeria is a very tough task. I'm looking at our ease of doing business rating. But there are some entrepreneurs who we had observed that they had broken the ground and they have been able to build a sustainable and scalable business system. And these brands, they are also looking for partners, people who are looking at going into business, who could partner with them to expand. So we see these two parties struggling in Nigeria, people that own businesses like most of you, I believe, who are participating in this webinar today, that have grown their funded tuitions, and you're not able to quickly scale based on how organically your business is growing, your funds for business expansion is growing. And perhaps you've also had the struggles of course, accessing funds from banks. On the other hand, there's a struggle with having the right people who are reliable, that you could demand these outlets across different locations where there is demand, demand from the customers, from the market, increasing market demand. Many times it's difficult to find employees who are that loyal and committed, who all they have to lose is their salary, and the business can go down, and all of that. Yes, we have, some trusted employees, but the way to go is to have partners, that is individuals who are vested because their money is in the business. And these are on the other hand, these other people, there's a high rate of business failure in Nigeria. We all will agree. Over 85% of startup businesses fail within the first couple of years, within the first 5 years. And this is not for somebody who saved money. Looking at the state of the economy, people lost their jobs from the incident of COVID-19 and all of that. So you can't borrow money from friends and family or from the bank and start up a business and fail. So there are also, on the other hand, these individuals or corporate organizations that want to start up businesses to take the risk of failing, and they are looking at proven businesses like the first group, who they could partner with. Now, in this very webinar we're going to be having today, if you are here as a business owner looking at how you are going to expand, all of those questions you have in your mind, the fears and the worries, the concerns, the lack of information for you to make decisions that you do not have about franchising, we are going to get that sorted out. So let's quickly jump into it. So one more time, my name is Chiagozie Nwizu, Managing Director of MBDS Nigeria. Okay, so I have a slide. It's just going to be like, you're going to be learning a lot today, because we're not just going to be telling you about our experience, our franchising, just about the concept of franchising globally, but we're going to be speaking from the local point of view, the local experience, setting up franchising in Nigeria. Okay, so just hold on a minute. I'm going to pull up my slide. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right, we are all set. So please, if you can see my slide, please just do a show of hand. Let me be sure that everybody can see. All right, great. I can see your hands. We're good to go. All right, so this is a growth agenda. This is the biggest challenge. You know, right where we are today in Nigeria regarding, you know, many of the businesses coming out of COVID, taking a lot of battering and challenges. It's even become more challenging to, you know, to grow a business in Nigeria. So now growth expansion is what we are talking about. We're going to start with what is franchising. I know it's a question that a couple of us would have in our mind because in Nigeria, this is not a concept that is very popular. I won't be surprised if half of the people that are here, Mr. Big. Many of us know about Mr. Big's, but you're about to get a shocker from what we're going to see here today. So, but in definition, I will tell you straight away that so there are even what we call distributorship is a form of franchise in itself. We call it the trade format franchising. The franchising model that we are driving at ABD business format franchising, where you are totally in control of not only your brand, your business, you are in control of the entire value chain, both your suppliers and your distributors, and we're going to be looking at that. So franchising is defined by us at FBDS as a business giving another party the right to leverage its proven, emphasis on proven and scalable business system to operate a successful and profitable venture. Every word there, they have, you know, they were carefully chosen, you know. So now, like I said, you are at the point you are looking at, you know, expanding and scaling, and you are tired of knocking at the doors of the banks, struggling with building a workforce who you can rely on. You are in Lagos and you want to open a shop at Port or in Kano, and sometimes there's a struggle getting reliable hands who would be able to run this business and maintain the standard and all of that stuff. So now, you know, how does a franchise system work? So now the franchise system, first of all, there has to be a model that you have proven. There has to be something that is working. There has to be, you know, a demand for your products and your services, growing demand, and all you are worried about is how you can expand and be able to reach out to these customers and be able to sustain your promise or your propositions to them, keep to your standards and all of that. So when you have created what we call a franchise system, you don't just go into franchising. It's not like distributorship. They are clearly different, as you are going to be, you know, learning today. So the thing is that you are receiving your fees upfront from the franchise fee who you license. So when you are licensing the person to leverage your proven brand. I've had a situation when I had to store some parts of Habibi yogurt from Abuja all the way to Lagos because I have kids at home who like Habibi yogurt. Why did that happen? Because there were no Habibi yogurt outlets, right? You know, so that brand itself, if someone in Lagos now opens, and which eventually happened somewhere at my estate gate, someone, you know, set up one, and I didn't have to, when I'm just carrying my briefcase, have to store yogurt and wait for the luggages and all of that at airport so I could pick up just yogurt, you know. So the moment I saw that Habibi yogurt outlets at my estate gate, you know, I had to start buying. So that is about the brand. You have built this brand that is known and it is popular, and somebody has to pay you a fee, the fee to support, to set up the business. You know, so there is absolutely nothing in terms of additional if you have built a sustainable and a proven business and a franchise model. You are spending nothing else. All you are getting is profit. You are getting, so as we go down, I'm going to show you different, you know, revenue streams over 5 different, you know, you are going to be, through which you are going to be making money if you end up franchising your business. So then what are you Just hold on a minute. Okay, so what are you giving to the franchisees? You support these guys with training, the know-how, knowledge transfer, essentially for, see, I want you to think of a franchisee as that individual who is where you used to be when you have started up your business. When you started up your business, you misfired, there were ups and downs, peaks and valleys, things that you did by trial and error, you lost money, you barely survived and were able to grow maybe because of your doggedness and a lot of effort that you put in. But some people, they do not have that staying power. They do not have the patience. They do not have the time. They do not have the experience to go through what you've been able to do. So now you are assuming that the person that is coming to you as a franchisee absolutely knows nothing, right? And does not, you have to teach him, you have to help him. You help him to find a location, you help him to transfer the knowledge that he needs to have, you help him to recruit his employees, you help him to do the promotion and the brand. So all of these things that you are helping him with are part of the system that you would have created and put in place in readiness for people that are going to be coming to franchise with you. So, and that's why they are paying you franchise fees. Most businesses, even in Nigeria here, some of our clients will help to set up, their franchise systems, are charging non-refundable one-off franchise fees in the range of 5 million naira, and it is all worth it because that is a reward for all of what you have invested, and of course, leveraging your brand, and additional support you'll be giving to see that it replicates the success that your existing locations are known for. So you would also be giving them support in the areas of training them and handing over to them standard operating procedures that they could make reference to for them to run their business. There is a whole lot more to that, but we'll have to just move on. Okay, so what would be the responsibilities of your franchisee? Your franchisee, like we said, first of all, brings two key things. Two key things your franchisee will bring are the two key needs that you have as a business owner. One is all of the money, and I mean 100% of the money that is required in setting up the business. So if to set up an outlet is going to cost 40 million naira, that includes, let me assume it's a retail business, leasing a location for 5 years, setting up, furnishing the place, putting the inventory, working capital, over a period of time, inclusive of franchise fee. All of these are going to be paid by the franchisee. It is his headache. Okay, and so that is what we broke down as construction, hiring, permits, and all whatnot. Second thing the franchisee must bring is his time. Someone that has folded his sleeves, ready to go to work. And when the person is just forward to you're telling him how to succeed because you've been able to make enviable success, right? And they just want to see themselves running a business that is as successful as what you have. So that there could be levels of commitment that are required. Some franchises, especially like food businesses, require what we call owner-operator, who has to be 100% available to run that business. He doesn't need to hire a manager and be traveling about and maybe doing another job. But for some other businesses, it is allowed to hire a manager, but the business owner, the franchisee, will still have to be coming around, maybe spend a couple of hours to ensure that all of the things that make the business successful, which you introduce to him, that is able to keep doing all of those things. All right. So talking about the franchisees' advantage, so franchise advantages, you would, part of the reasons why you want to franchise your business is that the franchisee is, has a better knowledge of understanding the local market. So again, do you know that as some people are running away from we have one of our clients, even while what we call insecurity challenges, they're up north. were ravaging. They were setting up an outlet somewhere in one of the key states that were troubled. And it is someone who lived in that environment and knew how to navigate and deal with the challenges. In many cases, it's about someone who could market in the local language, understand what sells. There are different ways to communicate. There are different marketing channels depending on different locations. And every franchisee, by the way, is someone who is a chief marketing officer. This person ensures that both in his commute in the mosque, wherever that he is, he's talking to people about that business. So that local knowledge usually is something that you don't have, and the franchisee brings that value. And also, it maintain the business, your product, your services, because franchising is not only, the franchise model is not only fail-proof, it is also foolproof. What does that mean? People who are not as, people who are not sticklers to standards and following processes. The franchise model in itself has the system that ensures that people, that they are able to keep to the standards. There are technology solutions that are used to automate the business. It is incredible the amount of level of automation that franchising introduces. You could monitor your business and see what is happening live, and not just seeing that there is, you will be able to control things. So if there are steps to doing certain things, the technology will stop people if they are not following that very process, so that the standards are preserved. Funds and of course more buying power. We're going to see more of that in the coming slides. But just imagine that if you're operating 5 locations currently, by the time through franchisees, you're able to scale to about 20 locations, that the economy of scale is going to weigh in. And if it's products that you are retailing, you're going to get them off at a lower price. If it's the equipment for your business or the furnishings and all of that, even vendors that are rendering you services, you get a better bargain for their services because they want to have a retainership to keep providing services to your big and expanding business. All right, so now why franchise? So now in clear terms, here are some of the reasons why you should franchise your business. One is accelerated expansion, deeper penetration, and business continuity. This is very critical. So now if you look in Africa, you will realize that that you can count the number of second generation businesses. These things are the trend is very troubling. If you look in Nigeria, if I ask a question now, tell me which businesses are second generation that in Nigeria, probably you'll be struggling to give us anything more than 5 of them. But if you look at franchise businesses, you realize that because of the system that have been put in place, these businesses expand beyond the locality where the founder had set up the business, goes beyond the country, and that's what we call, dominating locally and competing globally. The likes of some foreign brands like McDonald's already have over 40,000 outlets in over 130 countries of the world. The owners and the founders are long gone, and the business continues because people have found a way, McDonald's, the franchise fee currently is I think it's about $800,000, about $800,000. That's a lot of money, close to $1 million. Why? Because of the fact that it is a money-making machine. Anywhere you set it up, it is sure going to thrive, and people are just throwing money. People in some parts of the world are struggling to find a space that has not been allocated to a franchisee so that they can set up a McDonald's franchise at that location. And I can tell you that our country, Nigeria, is far more in need of the franchise model than any other place in the world. Why? Because we have a culture. We are not people who are in our environment. We are not born in an environment where people are conscious of processes and are disciplined to follow due process in doing things. So if you have employees, you can teach and keep teaching. So some of these are part of the reasons why startup businesses fail. because between there is a culture that people are struggling with, So, but if you build a business that has grown and navigated all of these challenges and has become has a system that helps it to just run like it and replicate its success, certainly people are happy opportunity and also get their own bit of that opportunity. Tell you what, Domino Pizza in Nigeria, currently they've done over, I think they are probably at about 140 outlets. They are the food business with the largest outlets in Nigeria currently. That's a foreign business that came in. Look at that. Master franchisee that brought in Domino Pizza till today, they've not started sub-franchising to other people. And people are not happy about that. I've seen people who got angry and said, we're going to sue them. You can't sue anybody, right? Why? These guys are making money. They are seeing the opportunity. They do not even want to allow any other Nigerian to, take up any franchise opportunity yet. So that in essence is something that we should all aspire to do as business owners. So there's expansion and market penetration with minimum cost and liability-free capital. Like we said, you are using other people's money. You are not paying any interest on that. It's not like the bank that is going to charge you 26%. Yes, and you are sharing, that opportunity with these franchisee. You charge them, royalty. They pay you royalty. They too, benefit from that. But the important thing is that it is your own brand that is expanding. Your brand goodwill is growing. Your brand valuation is growing. So it gives you opportunity to minimize contingent liabilities by sharing management. Like I said, you are not expanding with employees. You are working with partners who will fight to ensure that the business succeeds. If you ask them jump, they say, how high do you want them to jump? They jump because they just want to do everything to see that they're able to replicate the success, run a profitable business like your business has been able to demonstrate. So there's minimum, you get to minimize the burden of operational logistics. That's a no-brainer, and then you generate additional income stream and rewards your intellectual property, global reach potential, right? You see, it's very easy with franchising for you to set up a business in another territory. Currently, we are helping a number of our local brands to expand to other countries, and these other countries, because they have good products and services, they just, the franchise model in itself is built in a way that it can adapt and compete even with local brands in that very territory. Okay, so there is cost efficiency through shared cost. For example, the marketing cost, is shared. An advert is done on the newspaper or wherever, and that same brand, all the people can see it in each of the locations. Okay, so further, now I will just quickly run through these, but this is just more like a comparison. These of a franchising. If you look at in South Africa, currently there are over 900 franchise brands. What do I mean by this? The way it's so, and these local brands in Nigeria, there are over 900 of them that are franchised in South Africa. So you there, count, how many do you know that are there in Nigeria? The number of franchises in Nigeria that are well structured and are capable of delivering their promises to franchisees in Nigeria is nowhere near 100 of them. And that is part of why we are driving this campaign to you that is listening to us. You have a business. We have oversubscription. We are oversized by individuals that are looking to buy. We have in excess currently near something close to 3,000 individuals, corporate investors that are asking us, where are the franchises? It is only in Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen, where we have this very kind of challenge. It is only in Nigeria. In other countries, there are many franchises and few investors, but in Nigeria, there are too many investors, prospective franchisees, looking to throw their money at you if you can just show them how they can set up their own business under your brand with your support and run that business successfully. Nearly 1 million employees, over 800 billion rands generated, and that is now, I think, about currently is even beyond. I think it's about 15% of the GDP that is currently being generated through franchising. Imagine that. That sounds more like oil and gas. It's like, that is how much we can also do for our country, because when you are running a sustainable business that is employing people and all of that, you are also building an economy. 95% success rate is part of South Africa is one part of the world where we have the highest rate of franchise success, but globally franchises have 85%. That's the global average, about 85% success rate. Now compare that with the flip of only 15% success rate of startup businesses in Nigeria. This is why people want to buy your franchise. So in USA, 1 in 12 businesses is a franchise. I can't cap more on that. In India, the numbers are amazing. UAE, Dubai, all of you that are always traveling to Dubai for vacation. Dubai is a country that is driven by franchising. Dubai, as of today, over 50% of the businesses that you have that are set up in Dubai, that is in the last 3 years, are franchises. That is a strategy. Okay, so when you go to Mall of the Emirates or Dubai Mall and all of those places shopping, you are going into franchise outlets every single day. Tens of franchise brands are finding their way into UAE, so that they could take advantage of the tourism-driven economy where people are just spending money so that people can patronize their businesses. So look at 30 billion in turnover. Just one brand has over 2,500 staff and so many locations. I wish we have time to go through all of this. Okay, I'm going to quickly move to the next slide. So how do you know that your business is franchise ready? I know that's a question that many of us have in mind. Now, the question you should ask yourself is your business management experienced and ethical, with a history of financial and personal accomplishments. Whenever you are thinking of franchising, you have to have value. You have to have a strong management capability, right? Because you are going to be building a massive business empire, right? And you need to be able to have the structure to onboard your franchisees, to train them, research and development. So all these things, they fall on the management capability. I wish I had more time to talk more on that. So there have to be sufficient consumer demand for your products and your services. I give an example of Habibi yogurts, right? People have to literally be begging from all over the country saying, when are we going to have a taste of your product? I mean, your services and your products in an outlet, so we can start accessing these opportunities that your business provides through its products and services. The management of the franchisor business is expected to be committed for the long term. Franchising is not, something. It's not a dash. It's a marathon. It's something you go into with a plan to go for the long, for the long haul. The moment you start franchising and you are delivering value, one thing I can promise you is that you will be inundated with partners who want to give you money, who want to be a part of that very opportunity. But you cannot do it in a way that you are going to easily burn out and get overwhelmed. So you need to have a long-term plan. These are part of the reason why you have set up a franchise system. We're going to come to that. The business must be operating business systems which it has tested at different market locations and proven. So, yeah, I know there are very rare cases where a business has just one outlet and then as it's opening a second outlet, it starts franchising. I don't see much of that happening here in Nigeria. There are climates where there is a better enabling environment for startups to succeed and replicate that fast, because as when they are starting up their business, they are planning to either sell it or to franchise it. So that is understandable. But when we start our business in Nigeria, and all of our plans is for survival, let me just start eating and surviving on this very business. Sometimes see that the proper structure, the best practices, and all of the care to build such a sustainable business is done. So sometimes you have serial entrepreneur we could have, who have built so many other businesses. So if you fall in that category, maybe you want to set up a business today and then you are still at one outlet, you want to start franchising it. Otherwise, we strongly advise that you must have replicated it at 2 or more locations so that it will be proven that it is a system. You get that? It has to be proven that it is the system that is running the business and not you. Not you, the business for money, and you do not sleep, you do not go on vacation. That is why you need to do yourself a good by come to us and say, okay, I'm planning to franchise my business. I'm at the first outlet. What we could do is to just help you to put initial, system in place to see that you can get to find a franchisee who is coming to to buy your franchise. We have to ask you how many locations. Most of them will not trust that you are going to be able to support them. I can go on and cap on that. So then the business model operating a business system which it has tested that, okay, I've said that the capacity to provide support should be available. I've said a lot of that. The intending franchisor should have getting requests for franchise opportunities. I had also, said that. Then the franchise buyers are constantly on the lookout for brands that have attained some level of popularity. Please, gone are the days in Nigeria. This is part of the challenges that are some of our old franchises that pioneered franchising. With a lot of respect to them, this is part of the from all we say today now is that franchising cannot work in Nigeria. But we at FBDS have proven all of that school of thought wrong, because we've set up a lot of local franchises that are thriving. Many of them are rolling out. Some of them are still in the pipeline. There's quite a number of them that we have rolled out are doing very well. Why is it so? Gone are the days when franchising is about monkey the walk, baboon the chop, that kind of thing, where it's all about how do my business empire grow and expand, and you're not thinking about the welfare of this. So these days you have to fight, have people, the current entrepreneurs that we are working with, they are very, very protective of their brand, because they know that everything that they have built lies on that very brand. So you have to, if you are thinking of franchising, also be, having that school of thought. So quickly, what are the values of franchising to you as a franchisor? So you are able to, there's an expansion and market penetration at minimum cost. And so I've said this, there's minimized operational logistics, additional income stream. I've said a bit of this. What else haven't I talked about? So cost efficiency through shared cost. You make money through the franchise fee. So I promised you, I was going to give you a number of streams, income streams you make money from. So there is a franchise fee which is not refundable. Before you even sign up the franchisee, before he starts setting up, before he gets to see your business secrets, that is even the one he can access, because not every business secret that your franchisee can access. You only need the bits that helps him to run the business at that very outlet that he is running. Before you go that far, the franchisee must have paid you a franchise fee, which is not refundable, and it is a lot of money. It's a lot of, in fact, to be frank, part of the reason why we've not seen a lot of foreign franchises in Nigeria today is because people cannot afford the franchise fee because of course, the depreciation of the value of the naira. So an average US franchise you want to bring in, the franchise fee is at about $200,000. You must pay one of that. Is not even the cost of setting up. So now, I know that Nigerians do not value intellectual property a lot, but education is happening. So with key stakeholders in the industry, there's a franchise association, there is Africa Franchise Institute, education is happening. And I can tell you who understand the value of intellectual property. It is part of our work, by the way, if you start franchising, for us to bring you such people, right, who understand what it means that you have built a valuable brand, that all of the risks that they stand to experience if they went the process on their own, that these risks are minimized or completely removed. And these people are willing to pay what it is worth for them to become your franchisee. Okay, so there is the royalty, which usually ranges between 5 to 15%, of the, again, it depends on the type of business. Retail business is not same as service business, for example. So there are some businesses, which the revenue, because the cost of running such business is too low. So in such cases, the franchise fee could be high, as much as 15%. But for maybe a retail or food business, which has high cost, the royalty could be as low as 5%. So then there is the economy of scale that we talked about. Most of the things you procure, the franchisee will be buying be sourcing the equipment, the furniture, and different things to you, right? And then sometimes the suppliers of these things, they give you some margin because of the fact that you are moving, and it doesn't mean that the franchisee is acquiring these things at any higher price. They are still getting it at the best price they can ever get that market, So there are other streams like for retail businesses, again, where, or like if you are into manufacturing, one of our franchisees, Tangerine by Colors in Africa, they are a furniture manufacturing business, and they are producing most of the furniture that are retailed at their outlets, So they are not just making money from the retail, but it's driving their production, and so on and so forth. So you make money through the inventory that is sold as well. And sometimes you are running training. There's training and support. Like if you have a training school, your franchisees, they go through that very training and they pay you for your giving them that training, because otherwise they would have gone for that training to an external trainer. So values of franchising, franchising for your franchisees. So why are your franchisees coming to you? Is because they want knowledge transfer. They want you to transfer the knowledge that you have gathered over 10 or 20 or whatever number of years to them, so that they can operate the business successfully. Inventory and logistics support, things that they do not know where to source from, which through you they will be able to source. And then there's a facility and credit line. Oh yes. So of course we said that part of what we are going to be talking about in this conversation is house funding. So currently, Bank of Industry, we are a business development service provider, partner of Bank of Industry on franchising. Yes, on franchising. So for you to access funds, for you to develop your business, maybe warehousing, increase your logistics capability to support your franchisees, invest in some assets and all of that, you can source single-digit funding through FBDS from the Bank of Industry. There are some other partners, things that are, works in the plan, among development funding, which, we perhaps in the next couple of months, they also will be ready. We have private equity firms also that are partnering with us that are interested in financing. There are some kind of franchises you are setting up. Perhaps there's a brand we have supported that needed to set up a common facility where their franchisees will be processing some agri products. That common facility center to set it up is running into several hundreds of millions of naira, So these PE firms, they provide support from a 100 million naira and above, and they totally understand the need. They are designed a very suitable. They have very suitable products and funding proposition for franchisees. So same applies to your franchisees. So why did I deviate to this about the facility and credit line? Startup business been able to access fund from the banks. Will be able to do that because as a franchisor you can actually negotiate and collaborate with a financial institution so that they can through your support extend credit line to your franchisees. What do I mean by this? The typical business plan, business feasibility, support, and all of that, it is the feasibility of your own business as a franchisor that these guys are going to be leveraging. So you begin to see people that are startups, because of the guarantees, soft guarantees that you are providing, they are able to access funds. So these are for people who probably do not have 100% of the money to buy into your franchise. Okay, so there's guaranteed patronage from the retainership contracts that you've had with different clients, So I know people are raising hands. We're quickly going to go into question and answers, but please, it helps us better if you are chatting us your questions, please. But once we round off, we're actually looking forward to taking your questions and really get to the interactions, okay? So global brand promotion, cost efficiency through shared costs.
We just want them to drop it ahead of time.
Okay, there is guaranteed business growth and success from brand value. There's continuous research and product improvement from you, which they are leveraging. There are new product lines. So these, people want to buy into your franchise opportunity. Okay, so about expanding, comparing. So this is a comparison. This is a very important slide. So now comparing, expanding on your own and expanding to franchising. Now here, if you are on your own, you are going to be spending more of your money, investing your money for literally everything you want to do about expansion. But when you are, franchising, a franchisee pays you an initial franchise fee, and then upfront to learn how to, all the costs on franchisee, like we said. Then the manager, you are the manager at your new location, right? You have to manage your business. You have to be at the mercy of employees who might not be as committed. On the other hand, you have committed franchisees. If their franchise outlet fails, it is them that are losing. You absolutely have nothing to lose. And I know you might think about your brand and all of that, but maybe through question and answer, we can also talk about that. There's not even any room for your franchisee to fail at the first place. So there is more liability on you in terms of trying to drive expansion. There's absolutely no liability on you when you are franchising your business. You have it's very hard for you to handle the locations across the country on your own because of oversight. You know what? There is a particular brand, a fashion brand. I don't want to mention their name. They used to be in all of the malls. It's a male fashion brand. They used to be in all of the malls around Lagos and different cities. At some point, they grew to about 27 locations. The last time I heard about the brand, they had shut down to about 4 locations. And I spoke with the business owner. What was the challenge? It was expansion. He became overwhelmed. It was a very sad story. He became overwhelmed. He became, some employees can have an attitude of that where they are working is like a national cake, and, it's very sad, that is also a system issue in itself. And these are the things that franchising must help you to deal with. These are mistakes you can't afford to make on your own. So oversight issue, with franchising, it's not only that you have a franchisee who is overseeing that business, that is his own investment, but there are technology solutions that are right at the palm of your hand. You are in control. You see what is happening on daily basis and all of that. So there's more headache, permits, employees, local challenges, all these local government people that come to your office to, ask for one tax or fee or branding fee and all of that stuff. The guy at the local location takes care of all of these things, So there is also more time taken away from what is left of your personal time if you have to try to expand a business all by yourself, okay? So now some of the questions you might have in mind, why you might be thinking that you do not want to franchise. You might be saying, I don't think I'm ready yet, I only have one location. I can tell you, like I said, but it's more not in Nigeria, but there are a lot of successful franchises who had just one location and decided franchising. And as of today, they are operating thousands of locations. Time fails me to begin to mention these brands. So going to give my brand to anybody else. This is what I hear from Nigerians all of the time. I've worked so hard for somebody to destroy my brand. Well, our answer is that this is exactly the opposite, because if you open an additional branch or outlet, you are letting someone who has no vested interest to actually be operating that very business. So what are you going to do? If your franchisee, we've had cases of people stealing, we've had cases of people abusing customers, we've had cases of people just being totally nonchalant about running the business, and you don't see all of these things. And when the business shuts down, right, all the person has to lose is his employment, but you have lost a huge investment, and it's a major battering on your brand, which you do not want to experience. Okay, so I'm still working on a few issues. We keep hearing this thing. We keep, business owners who are saying, I'm not yet ready. Okay, I'm still working on a few issues. Those of them that said it 3 years ago, today they are still saying the same thing. Okay, so you can never be ready. It is when you come to franchise experts like us that you even know what are the right measures to put in place for you to get ready. So, and then we put a calendar. We say that in the next 6 months, these are the things you need to do for you to be ready. And then it just works out like that. And that is what experience and expertise delivers. Okay. So, I think I'll just skip this. So that's about key things also you need to know about. What haven't I talked about? So you have to be able to duplicate your business to be franchisable. Your business has to be teachable. Now, if your business is built around you, like you're a motivational speaker, everybody wants to hear only you. You can't franchise that. And I can tell you, oh yes, consulting companies franchise. Very soon, even us, we at FBDS, we are going to be franchising. People are already asking us for franchising opportunity. Can I set up an office to do what you're doing in Abuja at different locations? We are getting that request already. So, but there has to be something that is not dependent on you only as a business owner, right? You have to be able to transfer that knowledge, okay? Location specific, it cannot be a business that is only patronized by only a section or a particular area. Maybe it's only a product that other tribe or ethnic groups do not eat, or something that is offensive to them, and all those kind of stuff. So then talking about also there has to be the affordability factor. It definitely has to be affordable, right? So that so if you're, for example, if your franchise, the cost of setting up your franchise, somebody can easily replicate, make that money back within a period of 3 years. It is an affordable fund. It's an element of that affordability, right? Because of the quick return on investment that it has. Within 2 years, the best people are going to be saying, really, they're going to be having a whole lot more of requests. But if it's one that that one can generate the investment on the business within just 1 year, franchisees will be asking you, where do I sign already? So that I will take advantage of the opportunities that you have. So affordability is also about franchise fee. So sometimes you want to start with a low franchise fee, okay? So that you can begin to demonstrate the fact that there are opportunities, begin to demonstrate the fact that there are opportunities that people have actually been franchising with you, that there have been success stories, so with time, which is what actually McDonald's did. Some of the competitors of McDonald's, their franchise fees are still as low as $200,000. But for you to get a McDonald's franchise now, you have to cough out $1 million, between $800,000 and $1 million in franchise fee. That is not part of the cost of the setup. Okay, so so how do I franchise my business? Maybe when you ask questions, we can start begin to make reference to some of the businesses that we've supported across agriculture, different sectors. I like to take that during the questions, because I like to use that as a reference point for people that have questions. So how do you get started, right? You need to trademark your business. These are part of the things that an expert needs to support you to do. You need to have, the system is made up of what we call the franchise prospectus document. The franchise prospectus document is like an investment memo you give to your franchisees it's usually just a few pages of document. And when they look at it, within 5 minutes, they will know whether they can be your franchisee or not. So it would mean that the total cost of investment, the support you provide them, the opportunities that your business has delivered, how the demand on your products and your services, different things that somebody can look at and say, okay, should I do this or should I put my money somewhere else? Is this for me? Like the criteria also, what are the criteria? So that they will say, okay, oh, this one requires a bit of technicality. I have to have engineering background for me to run an auto repair shop kind of franchise or stuff, so that they can know. So then the FDD is franchise disclosure document. You really have to disclose a couple of things about your business. Why do we sign a franchise disclosure document before you go ahead and go further in the conversation? You want to let the franchisee know the non-negotiable things about your business. Okay, so if you are going to be a food business that is into pastries, you may want to let your franchisee know that they cannot start selling palm wine and oba and all this other stuff at your outlet. And these are things we've seen in Nigeria, right? Where the franchisor looks away and people start bringing all sorts of things. A particular brand that is in children's fashion, one of the leading brands in children's fashion, the brand is in practically all of the malls around. The promoter of the business tried franchising so many years ago, and she came to check the franchise outlet in one of the days and realized that the sales girl there was eating ogi, and it was a putrefied smell. And this very finicky madam immediately called for the shutdown of that very outlet. She said, no, this is not what I was trying to build. Okay, so these are some of the things that you want to put in your prospectus document to say these are no-go areas, non-negotiable things. We want you to know this is how profitable our business is and all of that stuff, so that if the franchisee is still interested, then he has to pay a franchise, sign the franchise prospect FDD, franchise disclosure document, and then go ahead to pay the franchise fee. Then the manuals are 3 of them. There are different manuals. There's a manual for your franchisee, your entire operations. There's a manual we call the franchise introduction manual you give to your franchisee for all just what he needs to run the shop. So many business secrets are not there because you usually have some element of production. Every business has an element of production. Food business, retail business, there are some secrets rate and drive the other part, that very business. The trade secrets you keep to yourself, and then the franchisee needs to know just what he needs to know to run that very outlet, manage his staff, manage the customers, and replicate the success that your business is known for. And there's also the training manual, right, which that is a critical, very crucial pillar in franchising. I wish I have time, but I'm going to be taking questions and very soon. So the other registrations with different regulatory institutions, then you must take some training with Africa Franchise Institute. Africa Franchise Institute is in Nigeria and trains the entire African continent on franchising, through the collaboration and support of International Franchise Association in Washington. It was even set up, as a matter of fact, because at some point when we were taking the training, we had to travel to the US, sit in the classroom for a couple of days, come back again, about 3 different class activities that happens over a period of 1 year. And we started asking for something that can be located in Nigeria so that Africans can just do a few hours flight, or Nigerians can take advantage of that. So you can check the website of Africa Franchise Institute and you would see for yourself. So you need the training for you to have the know-how and the capability. There's also the association, Nigeria Association of Franchise Business Members, which does regulation. It makes sure that both you, your franchisee, the service suppliers, that they are maintaining standards. I wish I have more time again to cap on that. I think
we know you can take this.
Now, who do you want to? I think this is about my last slide. Who do you want to be your who do you want to support? Let me warn you. Let me warn you, dear prospective franchisor, what you will never do. We've been on rescue mission for a number of Nigerian brands who think that franchising is distributorship or dealership game. They got law firms that were not experienced to do their franchise agreement, like a distributorship and dealership stuff. Where did they end up? In court, having court cases. One of them dragged for a period of 4 or 5 years, court cases with about 3 franchisees. You know, one franchisee just woke up one day out of frustration and yanked off the signage, which is own signage. Why do you want to go under for wanting to go over? Why do you want to destroy your brand for wanting to improve it? So franchising is not something you do by, you know, I know it already. It is a system. It's an incredible, detailed system that works, right? So there are 2 experts that are the law firms, intellectual property law firm experts. Some of them, they partner with us. They help you to do the agreement passport, as we also support them by providing them all the contents from all of your documentations that you are sharing with your franchisee, which need to be in the agreement. Then you want to talk to a franchise expert, franchise consultant expert that has demonstrated success, that have been able to deliver, that has been able to support businesses to franchise, that is going to be your partner. At FBDS, we are partners to our franchise. It's a live partnership. In fact, we do things in a way that as they are succeeding in some cases, we are also, you know, succeeding with them, because for us, there is no room for failure. We want to prove naysayers wrong in Nigeria that say that franchising cannot work. So any brand we lay our hands on to support to franchise, the failure of that very brand, we take it as our own failure. So we ensure that that success happens. So you want to work proven, experienced franchise development experts, you know, like FBDS, to go ahead and franchise your business. Okay, so I'll just quickly skip these things. But these are, if we had time, I would have just taken you through the different kinds of services and support, the research and other elements. Finally, here are different brands that we have provided support. It is not all of them that we supported from beginning to the end, right? Some of them we made them halfway, help them to recruit franchisees, right? To match them to franchisees, which is part of what we do. Some of them are foreign development agencies that we have collaborated with to support some local brands like yours, and there see a lot more opportunities like that. You know, so in fact, part of the reason why you should talk to us about franchising is that you might find out that there is an opportunity, foreign development looking at providing, sponsoring some of the elements of your franchise readiness for you to, you know, be able to deliver on this. But if you look here, we have both agri businesses, we have beauty and makeup, we have furniture, you know, and you know, telephone, food businesses, photography, and all whatnot. You know, so thank you for your time. So we have franchise business development services. I know we overshot a little bit. This is just about
yes,
about this, but I'm also sure that you guys were able to learn a lot from this. So I'm going to be handing over to my colleague Femi right now to conduct.
Thank you so much for that interesting session. I told you guys earlier, I told you people earlier that it's going to be a blast, and you know, you can take my word for it now that I wasn't just making mouth, it wasn't fumbling. This is amazing. This is a lot of information that you probably wouldn't get elsewhere about franchising, and that's why it's popularly known as Mr. Franchising, because it lives it, you know. All right, so thank you so much for that amazing session. That's been very informative and very insightful. We have a couple of questions here that I would like you to just quickly touch on. And while we're doing that, I would also like you to talk about something interesting that FBDS is doing with respect to macro and micro franchising, which you have not talked about, which I believe a lot of people here would fall into that category, especially for micro franchising, especially for those who are asking the question, how can I start? Where can I start from? Do I start franchising with one branch and all of that. What can I do with the size of my business? So I believe that the concept and the novel idea that FBADS is providing or pushing forward with respect to micro franchising will benefit someone here. So in few minutes, I'd like you just to touch on that before we proceed to answering other questions.
Okay, so micro franchising is, just as the name sounds, is a franchise format for micro and small-sized businesses. Many times it goes with a blend of social support. Why? Because we realize that many of such businesses either do not have the capacity to develop their franchise model, and because it addresses really, really poor people who means of livelihood at the bottom of the pyramid to be able to have a means, to become franchisees. Why am I saying this exactly? Micro franchising works mostly also again in developing or underdeveloped countries, where people's income level is not as big. So in the US, it is easy for people to spend $100,000, $200,000 to set up a franchise. But in Nigeria, yeah, we have close to 3,000 people. But I can also tell you that out of the 3,000 people that want to buy franchises, perhaps about 60% of them do not have more than 5 million naira to put in a franchise. So for micro franchise opportunities to invest in, we also are trying to develop more of such businesses. We are working on ideas about even the vulcanizer on the roadside, coming up with or like solar-driven system that can inflate tires, can check, help people to jump their batteries, other things at the roadside, and people can make that investment with just about 100,000. To this, because largely investors in Nigeria do not have a lot of money with which for them to invest in a franchise. We've also realized that some of our franchise system that they can do a micro franchise business, have a mobile fitness trainer who can go into people's houses and provide that very training. But this person is trained, certified, wears uniform, but he's an independent entrepreneur. He's a franchisee on his own. He does not require a store. He does not require an outlet. Okay, and I just let out a secret which I should not have, So, but it's something that applies to beauty and makeup, different businesses, which is an approach people are taking today to see that they compete more beyond just the physical outlet. So there are a lot of people. If we look at your business model, we may realize that investment requirement could be as high as 20 or 50 million naira, but we may also find out that it could have a micro franchise element.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. That's so clear. Thank you. All right, so somebody is asking, how do we manage the reputation risk associated with franchising, as some partners do involve in illegalities and other fraudulent things? So how do we manage the reputation risk associated with franchising?
It's absolutely the system. I'm sure that what we're asking today is going to fall back into that thing that makes franchising what it is, which is about the system. How does the system work, for example? I can give you straight up 3 things that the system will put in place to see that, that this concern, the reputational risk, is protected. 1, when you are developing your franchise, part of that we will do is to help you to design the criteria of who should be your franchisee. It's part of that. Everybody cannot be your franchisee. Some of the old franchises we know today, we say that they failed. What was the challenge? They went to to partner with politicians as franchisees. A politician that is 100 times richer than you will bully you, and a will see you serious-minded is going to. In fact, even some of the people we are talking about are people, the way they made their money, they are not actually interested in the profit of the business. They are looking for how to launder money.
Yes, sir.
And just just throw money, open 10 of your locations. They don't want it to succeed. So your customers will be complaining because they're not interested in making money. They are interested in having things that show people where we make our money from. So we set up a criteria on how to avoid such people. Then there's what we also call the recruitment process, right? There's an interview, there is a due diligence that is done on people's background, right? Which is part of what the law firms you're working with would help you to do, to check the background of your franchisees. See, if we help you to set up a franchise, you will not need to look for franchisees. Just take that to the bank. You will not need to, so because some people might do like, okay, if I don't take these people that are throwing money at me, these guys, I won't be able to expand. Don't worry about that. We'll get you people who are reasonable, is a marriage, people who are as hungry for you to lead them to success as much as you want them to follow you. Such right people. So again, there's now the control again, which even the is running. It is going to be practically impossible for that business to operate if the standards are not followed. So those people would not have the chance to mismanage that business. I can go on and on. There are just so many things I could have said about it, but I can tell you that risk can be 100% taken care of.
Thank you so.
Yeah.
Okay, you said the mic. So thank you so much for answering that question. That was explicitly answered. So I'd just like to ask briefly before we go. Someone is asking about funding, or saying that, how do we raise funds for this? So the question wasn't very, very clear, because I'm not sure if this person is asking for funding with respect to buying a franchise, or this person is asking for funding with respect to expanding his or her business so that it can become a franchisor. So, but regardless, so I don't know if you'd like to attempt the question with regards to funding.
Okay, is it the person that said my concern is mostly about fundraising, right?
Yes.
Okay. Right. So fundraising, I would assume you are a prospective franchisor. You are looking at raising fund to, if not, please quickly chat to say that you are rather an investor, that you're talking about fund for investment as a franchisee. But because this is largely addressing business owners that want to franchise, that want to expand their businesses, I will assume you are looking for funding to develop your franchise to be able to expand. Now, there are two types or two levels of funding. Phase funding is when we said, perhaps you want to, if you are in a business that involves logistics, you want to buy a lot of trucks so that you can move products and stuff to the locations of your franchisees. You want to maybe invest in a warehouse so that you can be able to have more storage of the products to meet the demands of your franchisees. You want to invest in technology so that you can manage the entire operations. That is a development phase funding. Such funding, we can easily help you, talk to us, we can help you to access that through BOI and some of our other funding partners. But if you are, if it's in the next phase, which is a phase of the fund to expand that very outlet, set up new outlet, you don't need to worry. That is what we said that your franchisees, the franchise partners are going to be bringing. So these franchise partners are people we say they have either 100% of the money required to open the new outlet and also working capital to operate it, or they have at least 50% of it and they can source funding at their own risk, in quotes, or their own responsibility to source additional fund from maybe the BOI or any of our funding partners so that they can make that investment. But in many cases, if that happens, you are going to be working the way we designed it with BOI. You are going to be working with it to see that this guy pays back. I wish I have time to go more into that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So I don't think the other question is saying that is it possible to start a franchise with zero account? And so that question is also unclear because if you're starting a franchise, you don't necessarily need to start with money. You need to start with the value that your business can deliver. I assume that is right. So it is that you have something running already that people can actually buy into, that people can leverage on to also begin to build wealth and generate wealth personally from. So I'll skip that question. So I don't know if you would have any final word for us with respect to becoming a franchisor and going the path of franchising businesses. What would that be?
Okay, before I do that, I would have even liked to personally connect more with the people who are on this platform. If people can quickly chat to give us an idea of what sector your business is operating in, I really appreciate that. I'd like to see the vastness of that. Please, I just want to make this request. Can we do that in about 30 seconds or maybe a minute? I'm a fashion designer. I operate a service business. I operate in the transportation sector and all of that. In fact, if you can also give us the name of your business, we will really, really appreciate. Somebody is raising hand. Please, we can still take maybe one or two questions. We really want to be sure the question and answer session is for us to really, really satisfy your information, to make sure that we address your own need, please. So please, if you are raising your hand, you can also, chat to ask your question. But yeah, can we get feedback? Okay, yeah, so yeah, they are coming in, people are responding. Okay, so let us know what is the name of your business, if you don't mind, what industry sector, yeah, that you are operating in. If there is any conversation you want us to take beyond here, let us know. Provide us your phone number and your email, so that we can get in touch with you and support you. Like we said, two major opportunities that you must have to take advantage of is access to funding, single-digit funding. We have funding partners who are looking for you if you have a proven business that you want to franchise. It's not like knocking on the doors and begging and all of that. Straight up, we could work with you to access that funding for you to be able to expand and franchise your business, single-digit funding. So take advantage of that if you are here and you have such a proven business. Also, we have foreign development partner. We usually work with USAID, DFID, GIZ, different, some of them are embassies of different countries that are looking at collaborations of sorts and to support, So let us know what business you do. It might just be an opportunity for us to get back in touch with you, right? Okay. So somebody asked a question: can franchising be possible for an online platform? Yes, there are a lot of online. See, as a matter of fact, during COVID, many businesses just shut down their operations and they have been operating online. It will shock you how many businesses, service-based businesses that are administering makeup businesses, all sorts. They are doing stuff, training. There are fitness instructors, that is even as a channel, but there are also e-commerce businesses that are operating as franchise. Even in Nigeria, Jumia and Co., if you don't know, they are operating as franchises. They have franchises and businesses. So I hope that addresses your question. Okay. I don't know that I'm looking for. Okay, so someone says I'm a travel agent, online booking, franchise. Yeah, of course, we have quite a number of clients that are operating. In fact, we have a foreign travel and all this travel and education business and stuff for for Nigeria, logistics businesses, travel. There are quite a number of them we have supported. Some are still in the pipeline, right? Yeah. Solomon, Simeon, thank you, Mahmuda. I'm just calling the first name just in case we don't want your full name mentioned. Thank you, Uche. Thank you, David. Thank you, Tofik. Thank you, everyone, for your responses and your contribution. All right, so I want to know again whether I should just give that parting message. Is there anything else? I want to be sure that we're able to satisfy every request here before I do that.
All right, so we're waiting to hear from you, just so we know. Or somebody is asking, what's the cost of using your service, and can I have a contact? Absolutely.
Yes, so right, so there is I think somebody can chat in the chat section our phone number and our email of official phone. We will engage you on that. Our services are not, it doesn't have any fixed rate. Of course, it depends on your franchise readiness. There is a lot of work that needed to be done. But again, some of those services you might be lucky to realize that you have a foreign development partner or even local development partner. You know, NIPC, Nigeria Investment Promotion Commission, they are interested in franchising. NEPC, they are looking for local businesses that want to export their products and services abroad, they want to support. There's so much that you can leverage beyond your paying us directly. And I can also assure you that your franchise, that you can just by franchising to one, within 3 months of your setting up your franchise, definitely you will be able to recruit at least 2 franchisees. It's something that we can guarantee you. And the franchise fees from those 2 franchisees, or even just one of them, will cover whatever it will cost you for us to deliver the services to you. So it's not anything to worry about at all. So get in touch with us. We are looking forward to supporting you. Remember, we have 3,000 people who are looking for franchise investment opportunities, and they cannot wait for your business to get franchised. And we too cannot wait to support you and begin to match you to these opportunities. All right, so over to you, Femi, for us to.
Thank you so much for this enlightening, amazing session. You know, I believe are full, ready, and motivated, inspired to take the next action, which is basically moving forward to franchising. If you want to support you in any way, if you'd like for us to provide you any additional information with respect to how you can go about franchising your business, or you want to get a franchisees for your business, it will be a pleasure for us to receive your contact or for us to hear from you. So you can reach us. You can visit our website, fbdsnigeria.com. Yes, and you can also call us. The phone number will be shared in the chat room so that you can actually reach us directly and answer your question. Send emails to us directly. You can send email to info@fbdsnigeria.com, and you can also send me a direct mail. I don't mind answering your questions directly and then getting your questions across to Mr. Chiagozie. So my own email is osamuel@fbdsnigeria.com. I'll say that again, osamuel@fbdsnigeria.com. So you can reach out directly to me. I'll take up your questions, and then I would also get you connected to Mr. Chiagozie, so it can actually also help solve whatever your business problems or needs are. All right. So at this point in time, we would like to appreciate all of you for coming. We so appreciate you for spending
thank you so much.
Afternoon, out of your very busy schedule. We really celebrate you. You are the real hero of this event. I wish I can call you Mr. and Mrs. Franchise for the sake of this conversation. All right.
Feel free. The pleasure is mine. Thank you all of you for your time. We wanted to do an hour, but we just couldn't crunch it. By the way, this is a series. It's going to be coming up every month. We are addressing franchisors every month. We're addressing franchisees every month. We're addressing service suppliers every month. Our goal is that in the next 5 years, the local entrepreneur at your village would ask himself, do I have what it takes to build a business? Otherwise, I want to buy a franchise. Franchise is not only for the city, for Lagos. We want people in the village to be able, it's incredible. Everything is franchisable as long as you can build a system. So we're looking forward to going this journey with you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the appreciation, for the feedback we are getting. We look forward to engaging with you beyond here. Thank you.
All right. So we'd like to call it a day, and we do appreciate you, and we look forward to meeting with you and seeing you at our subsequent events. We also would like to appreciate FBDS and every of our partners who support us to make this happen. All right. So thank you so much. We hope to see you again soon. All right. Do have a wonderful afternoon and weekend.
All right. Bye.
Have you ever desired to own a viable and profitable business? Do you know you can achieve this by simply buying the franchise of a popular brand? With a reasonable amount of capital investment, you can leverage on the success of one of our franchising brands to build a vibrant business with satisfactory ROI and guaranteed growth. In recent past, we, FBDS, have offered our professional services to high-end brands like Miniso, Cleanace, House of Tara, Slots, and Tofan, to mention a few, and have helped investors like you make wise investment choices, and we would like to do the same for you. Reach out to us today. Mail us at contact@FBDS Nigeria or visit our website. FBDS, the most trusted indigenous franchising consulting brand in Africa. Have you ever desired to own a viable and profitable business? Do you know you can achieve this by simply buying the franchise of a popular brand? With a reasonable amount of capital investment, you can leverage on the success of one of our franchising brands to build a vibrant business with satisfactory ROI and guaranteed growth. In recent past, we, FBDS, have offered our professional services to high-end brands like Miniso, Cleanace, House of Tara, Slots, and Tofan, to mention a few, and have helped investors like you make wise investment choices, and we would like to do the same for you. Reach out to us today. Mail us at contact@FBDS Nigeria or visit our website. FBDS, the most trusted indigenous franchising consulting brand in Africa. Have you ever desired to own a viable and profitable business? Do you know you can achieve this by simply buying the franchise of a popular brand? With a reasonable amount of capital investment, you can leverage on the success of one of our franchising brands to build a vibrant business with satisfactory ROI and guaranteed growth. In recent past, we, FBDS, have offered our professional services to high-end brands like Miniso, Cleanace, House of Tara, Slots, and Tofan, to mention a few, and have helped investors like you make wise investment choices, and we would like to do the same for you. Reach out to us today. Mail us at contact@FBDS Nigeria or visit our website. FBDS, the most trusted indigenous franchising consulting brand in Africa. Have you ever desired to own a viable and profitable business? Do you know you can achieve this by simply buying the franchise of a popular brand? With a reasonable amount of capital investment, you can leverage on the success of one of our franchising brands to build a vibrant business with satisfactory ROI and guaranteed growth. In recent past, we, FBDS, have offered our professional services to high-end brands like Miniso, Cleanace, House of Tara, Slots, and Tofan, to mention a few, and have helped investors like you make wise investment choices, and we would like to do the same for you. Reach out to us today. Mail us at contact@FBDS Nigeria or visit our website. FBDS, the most trusted indigenous franchising consulting brand in Africa. Have you ever desired to own a viable and profitable business? Do you know you can achieve this by simply buying the franchise of a popular brand? With a reasonable amount of capital investment, you can leverage on the success of one of our franchising brands to build a vibrant business with satisfactory ROI and guaranteed growth. In recent past, we, FBDS, have offered our professional services to high-end brands like Miniso, Cleanace, House of Tara, Slots, and Tofan, to mention a few, and have helped investors like you make wise investment choices, and we would like to do the same for you. Reach out to us today. Mail us at contact@FBDS Nigeria or visit our website. FBDS, the most trusted